Welcome back to another episode of the Breadwinner Energy Podcast. We are officially halfway through our waitlist launch for licensing. We opened last week to the waitlist. They have this week to apply as a founding mother and get the waitlist pricing. And then in March, we will open to the public where anyone can join, and it will be at full price of $10,000 to get your license. And then after that, you pay $3,333 every single year for your annual licensing fee. And today, I want to dive into borrowing my brand, licensing my brand, and never launching alone again. It over the last year, 2 years, I have had the launch scaries. I have talked openly on this podcast about how much I used to hate launching, like hate it, hate it, hate it, right? I have had $0 launches, I've had six-figure launches, and everything in between. And in 2024, after my six-figure launch, going through the legal case, burning my business down, changing offers, going through a spiritual awakening, firing my team, rehiring a new team, like all of the things. I had in 2024 and 2025 multiple $0 launches. Now, I've had $0 launches every single year in business because that's what business is. Like that's just how business goes. And I think that people think that when you hit a certain level of income or you've been in business long enough that you're just immune to $0 launches. And it's not true. Now, I think that and what I've seen and from the people I've been around, I've seen different kinds of launches. I've seen the people who have core signature offers that they launch every single year, and those offers have not changed for years and years and years on end. So they've spent, the last 5 to 10 years building one singular audience and selling one to two singular offers, not launching new offers, not launching pop-up offers, literally just one to two offers, the same person to the same audience, the same niche, like nothing has changed. And they just keep launching and launching and launching and launching and launching. And for them, I would say that most of the time, they don't have $0 launches because they've spent so much time building rapport with their audience. They've spent so much time building one audience, one offer, and nothing changing. But on the flip side of that, I've seen other business models who they change their offers. They don't just have signature core offers. They do a lot of pop-up offers, right? Maybe they change niches, maybe you've pivoted, and that's going to come with $0 launches because every time you pivot, you change your marketing, you change your messaging, you change your niche, you change your offer, you have to re-warm up people to what it is you're doing and what the offer is. And right, then there's like the whole like testimonials and have people gone through this before. And when you build that up, right? That was why I had the six-figure launch with Coach School. It was because I had spent years marketing to people offers. I did offer boot camp for years before I even launched Coach School, right? So I was known for helping people build really cool offers in offer boot camp. So I'd already built an audience around offer building in itself. And then when I launched Coach School, we had a really good launch, right? I think it was like a $50,000 launch our first time. And the reason was because of my years of coaching the academy, which was all about business coaching, specifically offers as well, but then offer bootcamp, which is all about offers. So there was years leading up to Coach School where I was coaching offers, talking about offers, marketing about offers. So Coach School was more of like a natural next step. It wasn't like a brand new offer to a brand new audience, right? And Coach School was the offer that I had my six-figure launch in. Well, that was really easy for me to create those bigger launches because I already had the audience. I was known for teaching offers, and then it was really simple. It was like build a group coaching program and launch it in less than 60 days in 7 steps, right? Very clear, very simple, very direct and to the point. However, through my years of coaching business, from coaching service providers, coaching coaches, coaching spiritual entrepreneurs, the number one thing that I have seen over and over and over and over and over again from helping people launch, watching people launch, my own launches, right? And even just like my peers is what happens is you create an offer. And in the beginning, it's really exciting and you love the offer. And the offer is like, you're just like, oh my God, this is so exciting. This is so exciting. This is so exciting, right? Maybe you get into the build of it all. You're behind the scenes, you're building it, you're putting it together, you're getting your creative juices flowing around it. And there's this dip that happens, and it's typically before the launch that holds you back from launching because you go back to this place of like, holy shit, now I have to put it out into the world. I've done this before. No one cares. No one's watching. There's no point, right? You go there, or you do launch it. And then the first couple days is crickets, and you're like, oh my God, everyone hates me. No one likes me. Nobody wants to buy. Your energy dips, the launch energy dips, and now you're like, holy shit, why am I doing this? You feel like a failure, right? Now, sometimes what will happen is you create an offer, you share with your email list, maybe you have like 500 people, maybe you have like 1,000 people, maybe you have like 4,000 people on your list, right? You post it on Instagram, you're getting 200 to 500 likes every single post. You're hoping someone sees it, you're hoping someone buys. Maybe you get like 1 to 2 sales even, but you feel like you failed. So, what happens? Number one is you either go back to the drawing board, you go back into your shell, and you're like, okay, I guess I need to try that again, but I don't really want to try that again. Like, what's the point, right? You go down that rabbit hole. Or the number one thing that I see, you feel defeated, so you change your offer, you pivot, you change your niche, you change the marketing, you change the messaging. Like, you change so many things that now the offer cannot gain traction. Okay. So then what happens is you go to launch it again and you get the exact same launch results because you just started the wheel over again because you can never gain traction because you just pivoted your offer and your niche again. So now everybody that was watching this first launch, right? Because here's how I see it. This is how I explain it. There's the people who want to live in your asshole, who love you, who don't care what it is you sell or what you launch. They're like, I love you and I'm coming with you, right? You will create that at some point in your business. And those will be your early adopters that buy whatever it is you put on the table. But most people will not do that to you. Most people will wait until your second launch or your third launch or the next round, or they will literally wait 6 to 12 months to see traction in your offer, your messaging, give themselves time, right? It's this whole like time game. But the moment that you decide to back out of that offer, to back out of that launch and to change and pivot, now they're like, wait a minute, I don't know if this is for me. You just lost a bunch of people that were in line for the next launch. And now you have to start that entire process over again. That is the number one thing I see with launching. It's the number one thing I've experienced with my own launches and why they don't work, why they don't gain traction, why launching feels excruciating. Okay, so there's a million reasons why I decided to do licensing, to license my brand and to create licensing plus alumni leadership. And launching was one of those reasons, okay? Because now when you become licensed in Breadwinner Energy and you get your license, you go through the 4 month process, you get your license, you then move into our alumni mastermind. This is the leadership room. This is where all of the juicy fucking shit happens. This is where the fun happens, okay? Here's what launching will look like when you're in this room. Number one is you will submit your launch windows 30 days in advance. Now, for some of you, we have a quarterly form that all of you are going to fill out, your quarterly revenue forms, okay? You can put in like your core launches. So when I taught our Empire Room Mastermind was to map out your entire year of launches. You should have one signature core offer that you're known for. It should be a mid ticket and then possibly a high ticket. So for some of our students, they would have like a 2 to 5K offer. That's their signature mid ticket offer. And then some of our students would like have like a 5K, 10K, or 15K offer. That's like your high ticket offer, mastermind, whatever it is you offer that's high ticket. So for some people, they had one of those, and for some, they had both, right? The mid and the high ticket, depending on how advanced you are. And those should be your core offers that you are known for. It is the offers that you launch consistently, that you open and close the doors to. That's like every year your students or your audience knows this launch is coming for this offer. Okay. The more you can create that, the more money you will make. Hands down, like that is the hill I will absolutely die on. Okay. Outside of those core signature launches, you can do pop-up offers, you can do passive offers, you can do like short intensives with your audience. But if you don't have core signature offers that you're filling on a regular basis, this will be why your income is capped. So I would really strongly encourage you to have those core signature offers and then mapping out a year of like, when will you launch these, right? When will be your launch periods? Even if the doors are always open, like Breadwinner Energy Academy, the doors are always open. You guys can join any day, any time. But I do launch periods for that offer where like marketing wise, that is the signature focus, okay? And then licensing, like right now we are opening licensing for the April class. So right now I'm pushing heavy in licensing, licensing, licensing. The doors are open. Then those doors will close, right, in April when we're like teaching this class, and we won't reopen until our next class begins. But Academy is always open. Okay, that's my model. So you will give us your launch windows in advance. So for some of you, you have a 30-day advance that you can give, but some of you will just put them in the future. Like you'll be like, hey, here's my whole launch calendar. Okay. You're going to give us the offer name, the price, your target revenue, like how much money you want to make on this launch, the dates of the launch, what you need from the room, like how you need us to support you in this launch, who your niche is, like who your ideal client is. And then we have two things, well, technically three. Number one is we have something called JV matchmaking, where we match you with your JV people, like your people in the room. Okay. So let's say that you're a health and wellness coach for like you do naturopathic health and you focus on like food and supplements. Okay. Let's say that's your jam. Let's say someone else in the room is a fitness coach. Like she helps on like weights, cardio, like a actual fitness plan. More than likely, you guys have the exact same audience, but you do different things to help the same person achieve something very similar. Perfect. You guys could be JV partners. Let's say there's someone in the room who helps women with their mental health, but you help women with how their mental health is actually affected by their health and wellness. Perfect. Same audience. Like that could be your JV partner, right? Like so we'll find you your people, like your partners in the room where you guys can easily work together. Here's how this can look. You guys could refer each other, be affiliate partners, you refer her, and if anyone from your audience goes and buys her offer, you just made money as an affiliate and vice versa, right? You guys share cross swapping. So instead of hitting, 500 to 1,000 people in your audience, now you're doubling that because you're crossing between the two of you and you have similar work. Maybe you guys decide to launch an offer together. Maybe you decide to do a podcast together, right? Now you're like going bigger. Maybe you decide to like do a pop-up offer together and make money together that way. That's number one that we do. The second thing is we activate the collaboration room. Okay. So we have rooms in the alumni mastermind. The portal is already being built. My assistant Emily has already put in like the graphics. I have already over 100 hours of training. It is gorgeous, like Gorgiana. We already have guest experts lined up to come in this fall to start coaching. Like the room is like, this licensing is like fully being built. It's so exciting. So collaboration room is like literally collaborating together. So, creating your referral partners, like finding in the room who is going to be your referral partners. You're going to refer them, they're going to refer you, right? Make money together. Who's going to be sending like their audience to you, and again, vice versa. And co-creating together. Okay. So having collective launch power. Now, here's number three. This is my favorite part. We're doing a shared launch calendar for all licensed leaders. There will be one universal calendar that every single person's launch goes on. And it will show what you're launching, when you're launching it, how much you're charging, who your niche is, who your audience is, and what you want from the room, how you want the room to help you, right? So maybe some of the people in the room are already your affiliate referral partners. So they're already like sharing and getting a pay cut. You could be featured in our email, our podcast, and our social medias, right? So now there's that. You're already on the directory, so it's easy to be hired there. But then what happens is the room knows, oh, so and so is launching right now. This is actually perfect because I'm not launching anything. I could easily make affiliate referral money. And now you're doubling, tripling, 10xing your launches because the room is collectively pushing and helping you launch. And what my favorite part of this launch is that you have a place to come debrief in the room, beginning of the launch, the mid-launch, after launch. Launch spirals happen to every single person. Oh my God, it's crickets. The people who joined the waitlist, the people who always talk to me, the people that were interested, ghost town. No one's talking to me. No one's joining. No one's applying. No one's buying. I want to quit. I want to pivot. Everyone hates me, right? The launch spirals happen to every single person I have ever known, no matter what. Literally, I I know someone that like had a almost six-figure launch, and then the next launch, it was like quiet the first 2 days, and she was like, "Oh my God, everyone hates me." Right? It's so easy to go for our brains to go to that place. But you have a room to be like, "Hey, I'm in the middle of my launch right now. Here's what I've done. Here's what I'm seeing. Here's the sales page. Here's the content, the copy, the marketing. What am I missing?" It's so easy to be able to put that in the room and for people to be like, oh, if I were buying, here's what questions I would have, right? Boom. Now you have content. Now you're answering questions. Now you're objective handling right there live because you have this room to ping pong ideas while also they're pushing you, actively pushing your offer during your launch. So instead of those 1 to 2 sales, maybe you get 10, maybe you get 5, maybe you get 12, maybe you get 15. Now you have referral partners for ongoing revenue in the future. Because now in future launches, you're letting people know ahead of time, your referral partners, your affiliate partners, hey, I'm launching. If you want to make 5K, 10K, 20K on this launch, here's like what I'm doing. Here's the things, like giving it to them. They're pushing it out for you. Because what happens is their launch is going to come around. And they're going to be like, okay, hey, I'm going to push your launch during this period to my list. And then I'm going to launch this week and you push it to your list. Now you guys are creating collective power, collective energy, launch energy together, right? And it is so much better to launch with other people. Your authority is now increasing times 10, right? Not only the authority of being a Breadwinner Energy licensed leader, like you get to post that on your website. It's like our brand has years of money, of sales, of clients, of rapport, right? That's now under you that you're also a licensed leader. So there's the authority there. Having the authority of other people saying, hey, we co-sign off on this person's work. When you're a personal brand and it's just you, it's literally you versus the world. It's you and people waiting for testimonials and waiting for proof and waiting for your results. But how do you create results if nobody's there? But this room gives you authority. It gives you partnership. It gives you the, hey, we co-sign off on this person, right? So now you can even go to the room and be like, hey, is someone willing to go through like my modules? Is someone willing to take my program, like a condensed version, and give me case studies? Like all of it happens because you're in this room of collaboration, right? And then the more you do that and the more you solidify these launches and you don't change them and you don't pivot and you're in our room and you're building up your collab partners and your JV partners and you're on the list and you're getting seen, the faster growth you have. That was like one of the biggest reasons I created this room was you never have to launch alone. You don't have to it's not like your brain, and then like going to your partner and being like, I don't know what's going on, and like going to your mom, like, I don't know what's going on, right? And then like you go to AI and it's like giving you the most basic generic fucking shit. It's real time, real launching with collab partners to strategize with you, right? And same goes for like just visibility. Like you need visibility in order to grow your business, in order to make money, to make sales. So what happens? You create content, you post it. 200 people see it, nobody buys. You're posting every single day or close to it. People are seeing you, but maybe it's not converting as much as you want or as fast as you want. Or maybe you're like in full content blocks. You don't know what you're missing. You wonder why nobody's seeing your work, nobody cares, and nobody's converting. But when you're licensed through Breadwinner Energy, you're a licensed leader. Number one, you're added to our public directory. So the world can see you. Number two, you're in the alumni mastermind. So in that room, the goal, you're hiring each other. Like you're like, hey, I need a brand designer. Hey, I need a coach for this, or I need something for this. They're in the room, right? So it's easy to be like, well, I'm going to hire straight out of this room because I trust you because you're a licensed leader and I'm a licensed leader. So I would assume that you are upholding, this mission, this vision, this value. So I assume that we align. So it's so much easier to find like the people you need straight up in this room and then find you, right? And in that directory, you're categorized by what you offer. So that way, when people come to our website, they look through our directory and they're like, hey, I need a whatever. They search that up. Boom, there's you, right? Number two, you can request a spotlight feature in the room. So that could be that you are like, hey, I would love to spotlight my work. Here's what I do. Here's how I think the room can benefit. The leadership room, I would like to coach a guest training. Perfect. Now we put you in, you're a guest expert, you teach the room, plus your replay lives on in the portal for every single future licensed leader. You could be featured on our podcast, featured in our emails, featured on our social medias. Plus, the room can refer you like, hey, I do this, this, and this. Here's what I'm really good at. I'm looking for people to refer my work and I would love to refer yours back. Boom, now you have referral partners, right? So you go from like 200 views per post to it could be like 5,000 views, right? Because you're utilizing our platform, Breadwinner Energy's platform, plus the room's platforms, right? And if we put all of our audiences together, right, that's thousands of people. That is how we are solving these problems for women in business. It's how we're creating Breadwinner Energy. It's not just collab work. It's like very specific rooms in here of how are we collaborating? How are we making money together, right? So here's what happens. You apply before February 28th. You have a few days left so that you can become a founding mother. Founding mothers not only get the discounted rate of 8888, we also have a payment plan of 12 payments of 777. That price will go to $10,000 in March and it will remain at $10,000 minimum from here on out. It will require you to pay $10,000 to go through the certification, to obtain your license, your first year of licensing, plus your directory feature, plus your alumni mastermind room. Every year after that, you only pay us $3,333 every year. That keeps you in the directory, that keeps you in the mastermind, and that holds your license. You will, number one, you will not find this room. It does not exist. You will not find it. So you will not only find, like, it doesn't exist where you get to license someone's work because typically licensing, you license their like content or you license their course and then you resell their course and make money. That is not what we're doing here. Do you get to use our methodology, Empired or Ashes to Empire? Yeah, you do. Do you get to teach my frameworks? Yes. But you also get every single business strategy that I have ever taught or coached for the last 6 years. I've coached now for over 6 years. I've been in business for more than 10 years. I was a service provider prior to that. So every single piece of content, every single piece of strategy that I use, you not only get to use in your business, you get to teach it if you wish. You get to use it however you want. Plus, you get to use Breadwinner Energy, the trademarked name. You get to build under the trademarked name. You don't have to worry about, is someone going to take my name? Is someone, right? None of that. So that's part one. Part two, you're not going to find a mastermind at this level of support for $3,000 a year. Doesn't exist. You're not going, if you do find a mastermind for $3,000 a year, number one, it's not going to they're not going to feature you on their socials and platforms. They're not going to put you in a directory for hiring. And then they're also not going to provide these rooms where we like literally say, hey, here's how to work together, partner together, right? Collab together. Like those things just don't exist for $3,000 a year. So you will pay your fee of $8,888 if you join during waitlist, right? In April 6th, we will kick off. It's April through July. You go through certification to obtain your license. During the certification process, what we're doing is making sure that you're ready to use the license, right? So that you know, number one, how to uphold the brand, how to uphold our standards and our brand ideologies, how to be a thought leader, what we expect you to do or not do using the license, how to be self-led through your identity, and how to operate legally under the brand, right? The trademarks. Because there's going to be things that like you just can't do as a licensee because you're not the founder. And then there's also going to be things that we would just don't approve of, right? Certain things that you could say or whatever. And the thing is if you're going to license someone's brand, the number one thing you're going to want to know is, okay, what do I do and not do so I'm not in trouble? How do I clearly follow this? How do I build offers under this? How do I make money under this? Like, how does this fit what I'm doing? And we're going to cover that. You will then graduate in July. You will get your license, you're added to the directory, and you're immediately put into the Mastermind Alumni Leadership Room, where we will kick off our activation week. It's called Institution Activation Week. And during this week, you are going to learn from me for 5 days live. It's a 5-day live intensive where we go over, number one, institution standards, how to participate, how to do your reporting systems, how to position yourself in the directory, what would get you removed, participation rules, how to uphold your license and keep your license and what we need from you, and how to utilize your portal. Day two, our revenue system, how to do 90-day revenue planning, your launch windows, submissions, our launch sprint cycles, post-launch reporting. We're going to tell you how to create your own revenue system. Day three is the visibility system, how to be visible, the directory, our amplification weeks, how to be featured, how to be eligible, how to get on our podcast, how to be part of our panel, how to co-create. Let's see. Day 4 is our collaboration system. So we're talking about JV matchmaking, our referral categories, commission, collaborative tracker, how to collab with others in the room. And in day 5, we talk about collective wealth and the economy, how to publish collective revenue from last quarter. So through this institution, we're asking you to give us what are you doing with the license? How are you? So we not only show you like here's how to build offers, here's how to make money, here's how to collaborate, like here's how to utilize it, but then we also want to know, okay, what are you doing with it? How are you making money with it? And we can clearly see like who's making money in the room, how are you upholding it, what are you missing, right? While also bringing in guest experts. This is a full institution. This is not coaching. This is not a coaching container. This literally doesn't exist. When I went to build this came from a third eye vision. It came from multiple pieces. It was the the vision of being in an abusive relationship and being like, I wish that I had enough money to build systems for women in abusive relationships, like moving companies and housing and getting them on their feet, like giving them real resources, right? Not just like a shelter, but like actual resources to get on your feet, to leave the relationship, to become self-led, sovereign, and make money. That was one of the visions I had. And there was another third eye vision I had of like how this room operates and how licensing would work. And that's how I created the entire thing. It was like solely through this third eye vision. So when I brought the idea right up to everyone, they're like, well, this is not how licensing works. Like whenever someone licenses their content, they license a course, like, or, and then someone resells their course or their program. And I'm like, no, but that's not it. Like, it's so much bigger than that. Like, sure, can they use my, like my content, my methodologies? Like, sure, I don't care, but it's so much bigger than that. It's literally giving women in business resources to grow, to make money, to be visible, to be seen, to work together. Because I know after years of being in business, the number one thing that is why women quit business and don't become breadwinners and don't become rich as fuck is because they don't have the resources. They don't have the room. They don't have the people. They don't have the visibility. And if you're spending years and years and years doing it on your own, well, what happens? A lot of time you lose money, you lose time, you get frustrated, you burn out, you quit, you go back to a 9 to 5. And if I'm helping women become the breadwinner of their own lives, I want to give them these resources to be able to do that. So take eliminating needing a trademark, like that in itself, thousands and thousands of dollars, resources, legal, like that's already off the table. Okay. Needing collaboration, network, being in the right rooms with the right people. Okay. Well, if you're all licensing under my mission, vision, and values, we align, we vetted the people in the room. We're not only putting you in a community of people, but we're putting you in a community of people that are so like-minded under the same mission, vision, values that we don't have to worry about like, well, we don't really align and we don't have the same ideologies and right, we've already eliminated that. You're in a room of powerful people. And then we're like, okay, what's the third problem people run into? Not being seen enough, right? Not getting enough visibility. Well, if you can't pay for PR and right, you haven't built that up. Okay, perfect. Let's put them on our podcast. Let's put them on our podcast that we've spent years building. Let's also put people in the room that can do that with each other because they've all spent time building these brands. But if we're cross promoting and cross referencing each other, boom, now we've fixed a visibility problem. Okay, what's the other problem? Money. Okay, well, if money's the problem and they're struggling with how to make money and how to create things that make a lot of money and hold money, perfect. Let's solve that problem. Like, I'm trying to solve every single business problem that I've ran into for years, that my students have ran into for years, and giving you guys an institution that solves these problems. Now, here's the thing is we require you to be self-led. We require you to be someone who can make decisions quickly and execute on those decisions. We require you to stop being led by fear, by imposter syndrome, by your own mindset, your own drama, and holding yourself back, right? Like that's the thing that we ask you to do. We ask you to participate, right? We ask you to uphold the license. We ask you to do something with it. We ask you that you like provide the reports that we ask. Right? It's just a form. You fill it out. It's not easy. It's not hard, right? It's not hard to fill it out. It's time consuming, maybe, right? Once a quarter to fill this form out or to give us your launch information 30 days in advance. But the on the opposite end of doing that is what? Right? You get launch partners, you make more money, you get more visibility. It's worth it. It's equal balance, give and take. So this is my solution to creating more breadwinning women in the world. And I am so fucking excited to bring this to the world, to bring this to real life, to make it tangible, and to find our founding mothers. Our founding mothers, again, not only get the discounted rate, but they also get founding mother status forever. There's a portal piece, a room in the alumni mastermind, which is only for founding mothers to be seen, to be showcased, to be featured. That will be our original panel where if we're hiring or we need collab partners or we're featuring, they get first choice, they get first bid. Number one. Number two is that they live on the first page of the directory forever forever and ever and ever and ever. So as long as you're holding your license, you're a founding mother, you get to be on the first page of the directory. I'm also building a wall in my office with the founding mothers images on the wall. You will get to be on the physical wall of being a founding mother. The other piece of this is that we're doing, which I feel it's like so exciting about, is the goal of this that I'm building a legacy, right? I'm building a legacy for generations to come, for my children, right? And in doing that, meaning I want to pass this down to my children if they want. Like, I would never force my kids to do this work, right? That's weird. But if they wanted to, then this is available to them. But what I also am in doing is that you get to pass down founding mother status to your children, grandchildren, daughter, or like a woman of your choice. So let's say you retire, right? And you were like, okay, I'm retiring my business or whatever I'm doing. Now you get to pass it on to the next generation, woman generation, and she gets to hold your founding mother spot. I thought this was really like sentimental and just really standing for what we're doing here, which is like not only legacy building, but like changing generations to come and for breaking generational curses. And if I'm like saying, hey, be a part of this legacy with me, it's like, okay, but how do we give this to your legacy too? And so that was something that I was like, I love this idea of passing this on to a woman after you. So that is what founding mothers get. Applications are open for waitlist only. The link is below. Here's what happens. You click the link for the waitlist. You give us your first name, maybe your last name, I can't remember, and your email address, and you will immediately get an email that sends you the licensing page. The licensing page is not public yet. It has literally only been sent to the waitlist. So you click on the licensing page, you learn more about what it is and what's involved, or you don't because I just told you. And you click apply, you send in your application. I am vetting every single application that comes in. I am reading down fine comb through this application. We have two people, two founding seats already saved. They've already joined, and we had two that we have already declined. Why do I tell you that I've declined people? Because it's really important for you to know that this room is very specific about who I'm letting in this room. If we don't think that you are ready, we don't think that it's clear what you do or how you're going to take up space, if we don't think that you are totally ready mentally, if we think that you need to start with the academy, the Breadwinner Energy Academy, where you become sovereign, you become self-led, you identify yourself as how you're iconic, how you're a high power woman. You're not still in drama or mind drama or like imposter syndrome or like if I can tell that you're like in this like holding yourself back, I'm just not sure. I'm not sure what I do. It's not clear to me. We're going to tell you to go to Academy, right? That's the place for you because I don't want you to spend, you know, time, money, and energy in our licensing program and not use it. Like the room only works when it's cultivated with the right people using the resources to the fullest amount, right? I don't need you guys to be in there every day, all day, 24/7. But if you're in the licensing room and the purpose is collaboration, is working together, feeding each other ideas and leaning on each other for launches, but you're still wrapped up in your own drama of like who do you serve and who your niche is and what you're selling, you can't be an appropriate collab partner. So you would have to be an academy first, okay? So I will read every application. You will get a email back from me within 48 hours, basically. I pretty much within 48 hours reply to every single person whether it's a yes and whether it's a no. And if it's a no, we will likely tell you to go to Academy. Now, if you're just like totally not a good fit for the brand at all, I mean, I don't assume that you would be that and then apply. But if not, we will just tell you like it's not a fit. If it's not a fit, but it's just because you're not ready right now, we will tell you to go to Academy. But if you are a fit and you get the yes, you have 48 hours to pay, whether you pay in full, whether you do payment plan, we don't care, it doesn't matter. But you have to pay and fill out your onboarding form. And then March, you will get access to your portal with the pre-work. You'll get to hang out in the certification room. You'll get to learn about everyone, say hello, introduce yourself, again, diving into the content. And then we will kick off on April 6th every week on Monday 12 p.m. CST, 1 p.m. EST for 90 minutes, 3 calls a month. The last Monday of the month, there is no call. And we will go over the curriculum. And then the last week of July, you will take a final. I'm doing air quotes, you can't see me, but you'll do a final, which is just like, do you know what you learned over the last 12 weeks? Do you know how to uphold the brand? You'll give us your directory information, and then we will give you your license, and you will be licensed. You will get listed in the directory. You will come to your 5-day live intensive with moi in the alumni mastermind, and then you will have full access to that portal. That portal is beefed up. Like that, that portal is beefed. And you will have access. We will have 2 calls a month in the alumni room with me. We will have the JV matchmaking calls. You know, the mastermind calls where we're doing like teaching and ideologies and brainstorming together and offers together. And there's rooms for building offers. There's rooms for marketing and for content, for sales. Like I have a room for every single thing. Guest experts come in. So that's an additional call every single month. And that is how our licensing is. That is the full disclosed everything you need to know about licensing. And if you feel this in your gut, in your soul, like, holy fucking shit, like I can see the vision. I can like see myself in this room. I can feel this collective energy. I don't want to build alone. I don't want to launch alone. I don't want to be invisible anymore. And I feel confident in like what I do. And I feel like I'm really good at what I do. But on the other end of like business has been so hard. And if business is what is holding you back from letting the world see and experience your magic and your gifts, and all you need is the structure and the people and the platform to be successful, this is it. And it makes me want to cry because not only is this like my soul mission and my purpose and what I was here to do, but I will never, ever, ever, ever forget in 2021, very beginning of the year, when I invested in a $10,000 mastermind program. And I will never forget saying, I am so good at what I do and I love what I do, and I'm just good at what I do. And if more people could experience that, if someone would take a chance on me, would put me in a room, would give me a platform, would give me visibility, I know it would take off for me because I'm good at what I do. But waiting to be seen, and I'm posting every day and I'm feeding the machine and it's so hard, is exhausting. And I know how many times I've wanted to quit because of it. I know how many times I've wanted to give up because of it and haven't, but wanted to. And I remember saying that one day when I'm rich, I'm going to invest in women's businesses. I want to be an investor in some way because I want to give women the resources, the platform, what they need to keep going, to not quit. Because it's not that you're not skilled. It's not that you're not fucking amazing at what you do. It's that you're under-resourced and you are exhausted and you're taking care of everyone and everything. And then you're trying to figure out all the structure of business when in reality, you just want to change lives. And so if I can give you the structure and everything you need to go out to the world and change lives and make a lot of money, then I'm going to do it. And that is what licensing is. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of this episode. And as always, I will chat with you on the next episode.